Hey everyone, John Karish, Kaba Cycles here. Update on mobile service van from rear view here. I'll come around to the side. Didn't want to start here, really bad glare. Anyway, this will be how we went about mounting a full-size toolbox in here. This is from Home Depot, pretty basic Husky toolbox, wooden top, you can see. 46 wide by 24 deep and 37 high with the wheels on. I took them off, as you can see. So I think it's about 32 right now with the wood underneath. So to get this thing to stay in place, the concern is it like moving around, which is really easy for them to do. So first, most obvious things are gonna be these wooden platforms down here. Those are 2x12s cut to 24 deep. And you can see here how close those butt up against the wall there. They're flush with it. Same over here. I just did that as kind of extra insurance against this thing moving around. So, and to mount them underneath it, it had these wheels underneath. There's 4 of them, one on each corner with 4 holes each. So measured out, made a pattern, drilled through the 2x12s to get the template, which honestly, I could have used a drill press there. That would have made it a lot easier. I had to do a lot of going back and working on that. But anyway, so bolt those in place with the existing bolts. Conveniently enough, they are M8 by 1.25 bolts, which is the same as the threaded bosses all inside the transit van. So that was kind of nice. And so bolted those in and drilled through 2x12 into the floor, and you kind of tell like where the floor is raised. I tried to drill into that part. So little pilot hole and then big sheet metal screws. I think I used the biggest ones I could find. So I used number 12 or 14 sheet metal screws, 2 inches long. And to get them to actually bite into that metal, I had to countersink them a little bit, as you can see. And that did 2 things. Let it actually bite in the metal and also kept the screw head flush down below the surface. So those on each side. And the other part of this you'll notice is I got 2 drawers out. I originally took out 4. So along the primary way to mount stuff in these things is these M8 bolts here. So you got them across here and across the top. You can see I got a couple of long ones just in there to store stuff hanging up right now. But one thing to look out for with these toolboxes mounting them is these center ribs, okay? So there's one on the right, one way over on the left, and the center one. And I kind of got unlucky with the left sided one. The center, that rib was right where the M8 bolt thread was in the back of this thing. But I was fortunate enough to be able to use this one right here to be able to screw right through. So just drilled a hole in the toolbox, M8 bolt and a washer, bolted it in. This side over here, you can see right over there, there's a big sheet metal screw. Drilled through this, drilled a pilot hole in the back of the sheet metal of the van, and just screwed it in. And to take these drawers out, it's not bad. You have to, they've got these little catches on each side, so you can tell pretty intuitively by looking deeper in there which one's doing what. But bend one down on this side, and on the other side is the opposite, so you have to be pulling it up. So, and then you also have to kind of wiggle a little bit to get it over the catch, and that drawer will pull straight out. So pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So I got those out, bolted it in, and the other thing I did, added a little bit of like inner tube cushion between the wood and the van so it's not squeaking around. It was making a lot of noise when I was positioning it in here. And also used a L bracket right here. I started off with a sheet metal screw in this one. It wasn't going great with this one, so I just drilled it all the way out and used a bolt with a nut on the back side, and that cinched up pretty good. I think, yeah, so that covers everything I did with this to keep it mounted and secure, and it's solid. I'm pushing pretty hard on this thing. And the other thing here is make sure you get one of these that's got one lock right there, and that's turned. That'll keep all these drawers from pulling out when you're driving. So that really covers all the basics of this thing. I'll sand that stuff down and stain it to match the top of it eventually. But pretty good setup. And again, big thing here is being careful what you're drilling into. Metal that's not against the skin of the van, okay? Because if you got up right here and try to drill through, that's the exterior of the van. You would like punch through that in a minute. Also relied pretty heavily on a little block of wood with a hole in it for whatever size bit you're using. I just picked up first scrap I found and used it. But drilling through stuff like toolbox, where you only got to drill through a little bit, a few millimeters of it, this will be a good stop to stop that drill from just blasting all the way through into whatever's there. So anyway, careful what you're drilling into, and I relied pretty heavily also on measuring all this stuff out first, making a template, and then actually doing all the drilling and bolting it all in place versus just hammering away at it. So anyway, hope that covers everything. Oh, one thing, it's got these like tie-down mounts, and these are huge. I took, there's one, taken all the way out. That bolt is a monster. It's either M10 or M12 by 1.25, and I was gonna rely on those to help mounting this, but I just realized I was wasting my time with that, and I could easily put another L bracket down right here, but it's unnecessary. So those are tempting to use. Just be careful. You're gonna have to probably custom make your own brackets to utilize that. And by mounting, also you notice I got low mounts, high mounts. So this thing's not trying to tip over, okay? If you only mount this on the bottom, you got a lot of leverage coming back and forth on those bolts as you're shifting around. And another thing is, you can see I got a good bit of room between the seat here. Get whoever is the absolute tallest person you're ever gonna get in the van, have them get comfortable in it before you space out this toolbox, because you don't wanna get this thing too far forward. It's easy to do. If I positioned this slammed up against the frame, probably nobody, I'm 5'8", nobody over 6 feet could have gotten this thing. So that's why there's a little bit of extra room there. Anyway, that's it.